Let it hit the 16. Let it hit the 16 for my peoples, man. Welcome back to the Foul Playland. As always, I'm your foul player. As always, I've been fronting on y'all for making content. The three of y'all that still watch, but here I am this evening. I mean, I really haven't had a lot of time to make content. And honestly, being that a lot of times, I always fall back on boxing talk. Ain't shit happening in boxing. So and not only that, I mean, it's summer. Fucking better shit to do in my eyes at this stage for me. And I'm not knocking anybody as far as on doing YouTube. I actually admire people that make content. But a lot of times it is what it is. I just can't come through. But I'm here tonight, and I want to thank you guys for who here now or watch this later. I want to thank you for coming back here. But the title of this video is why I'm no longer paying for Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford on pay-per-view. That fight right now hasn't materialized officially anywhere like that I've seen, besides YouTube. But I haven't seen it on ESPN. You know what I'm saying? For it to be metastasized in my mind, where I know it's on officially. Having said that, in spite of it being whether it's on or not, I mean, I'm pretty sure I could make a good guess that what people are reporting as far as the fight being on in late November is actually true. Which I'm glad. I mean, am I gonna watch the fight? Hell yeah, I'm watching the fight. Absolutely. But if you've been watching my channel with any regularity in the past, I haven't been paying for fights in quite some time. The last fight I paid for was actually Deontay Wilder versus Fury Part 3, and before that, I didn't pay for Part 2. Before that, the only other fight I probably paid for was probably Part 1 Wilder versus Fury, if I had to guess. But I stopped paying pay-per-views regularly in the last 5-10 years, where I'll do it very sporadically. I used to buy every pay-per-view in the late 2000s, early 2000s. But lately I've been buying zero pay-per-views. The last couple of years, I mean, the last 3 years, besides since Wilder Fury Part 3, like I said, I bought zero pay-per-views. And when it came to this fight, I mean, Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford, much anticipated. I was debating internally, I don't want to. I would like to reward the bros, when they for fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? I do root on the team in that sense, but boxing as a whole, I mean, tonight I fucking I was trying to watch. The thing is, with tonight's fight, I've been streaming every fight lately, and I have the tech savvy of an old dude. I am an old dude, but lately, it's harder to stream fights, as far as me deboing them, not paying in a sense, not in a sense outright, but personally it hasn't been working for me, where it's a pain in the ass to the last two pay-per-views that I caught, which was Luis Ortiz versus Andy Ruiz. That was a pain in the ass to watch on my phone. And then tonight, I mean, I had no luck. I actually heard the fight called by my boy Southpaw 773 TV. If you could go subscribe to him, fantastic channel. But I heard Southpaw call the fight, but I couldn't watch it. But in the last 5 years, since I've been deboing fights, again, I don't know how to do debo fights like that. I usually gotta ask somebody else for a link or some shit. or like Google search, like similar to VIP sports like sites, and like it's a pain in the ass. Like, I'm giving my phone fucking herpes, looking for one like this fight free, like like seeing all these fucking VPN advertisement shits pop up on my phone like pet, like thinking that they're gonna give my phone some fucking virus or some shit. Like fuck that, bro. And the reason I'm even doing that shit is because a fight like old ass Triple G versus Canelo, I mean like people will argue that it is a pay-per-view fight, but I mean it's not a pay-per-view for me. I mean, I don't give a fuck about either one of them dudes. But boxing as a whole, I mean, it's been losing fanfare. They should be happy that I'm still fucking tuned in. Like it's like every fight now, I mean, like I gotta struggle trying to catch a freebie stream, like fucking so I don't get to watch those fights like outright. Like the last fight when it was Andy Ruiz versus Ortiz, it like I think I quit after round 9. I it would work for like 2 rounds and fucking stupid shit would happen with the phone, or an asshole would call me and like then I fucked up the stream. You know what I'm saying? Like, so as far as keeping me tuned in, the cheap motherfucker that's not gonna pay for fights, I don't even have cable. By choice. I fucking pocket that money. But I'm losing interest. And then it's like these dudes fight way less and less and less. So now I come to the point where I'm already a cheap dude in relation to paying for boxing pay-per-view. My policy is I don't pay for shit. And now you got 2 guys, brothers, about to fight each other, much anticipated. But the problem with this fight, so at this point, I was on the fence. I was a fence rider, fucking in relation to like whether I was gonna pay for this fight or not. Like and it was more like 90-10, 90 that I was gonna try to steal the fight versus 10% that I was gonna pay for the fight. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like it was some fucking impending decision. Now, if somebody come in here, yeah, I'm gonna order the fight. But nobody's coming here because I'm not gonna pay for the fight. Or I'm not gonna waste that money. But I was sort of debating it, but at this point, I'm worn out. I mean, and honestly, I didn't want to make this video prior to it being announced because I didn't want to jinx it. Because ultimately, I do want the fight to be consummated, but now that it is consummated, now in my mind, and sort of like it's 95% that it's gonna happen, like soon. Fuck them dudes, bro. I mean, not so much the fighters. I mean, like, but yeah, fuck them too. Like they drag their feet with this fight, both of them. I mean, I think there are party. Like some people are gonna take a side as to who they blame more as far as the fighters go. I too have taken a side in that debate. I mean, personally, I think Errol Spence was the bigger cause of why this fight got delayed in relation to the fighters. But not to say that Bud did fucking a lot of things in my eyes that helped push this fight either. I mean, like fucking these dudes don't be saying shit. I mean, like and these fights don't happen. It's like what gets you hyped up for the fight? Like fucking these fucking emotional ass dudes like fucking capping for one fight and another. Like get out of here. Like so nothing's kept me intrigued on this fight. I don't even get to watch my little bit of boxing here and there because everything's on fucking pay-per-view. And then when I try to Debo a pay-per-view stream, it's fucking shit. I mean, this year, I mean, like my team, the New York Mets baseball. I mean, baseball's all summer, 162 games. My team's been fucking beasting this year. We all normally suck. So, I mean, there's a lot of times when boxing matches come on, i.e. today, where my team's winning or like fucking it's a close game. I'm not going to tune out the Mets like for no fucking boxing. It comes on to sporadically, and this would never happen in the past. I've been a Met fan my whole life, and I've been a boxing fan my whole life for the most part. But in late 2000s, let's say 2006, like I didn't diss no fucking boxing match for a baseball game, even whack boxing matches that happened in 2006. But now, I mean, boxing has me so disengaged in a sense, like that. I mean, I'm becoming in this sense, I like if this fight does happen late November, like they say, there's no other fights in between that I'm probably gonna catch. I mean, if it's not like Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, like a couple other Teofimo Lopez, um, Errol Spence, I catch all this shit too. I mean, I'm not gonna front. But if it's not these dudes fighting, I'm not gonna be engaged, man. And like but at this stage, I mean, like this whole fucking summer, I've been entirely disengaged, and the summer's gonna end. And now we're getting this fight. I mean, like 5 years past the time, like when we started first discussing this fight. We started first discussing this fight, if we're honest with ourselves. I mean, even before 2017, prior to like Bud Crawford beating Ndongo. I think people were discussing this fight when he fought Diaz. Even, I mean, it was a sure thing that he was going to go up to that he was going to clear 140 out. It was a sure thing that he was going to go to 147. People were talking about the fight prior to that. Right after he got to 147, he bagged the belt, and then fucking it went from oh shit, Bud's gonna fight, but Errol Spence possibly because they're gonna be in the same division. So once he got to the division, got a belt, like fucking like things went apart, like opposite poles on magnets. And now, like and it's like I at the end of the day, I mean, I blame the promoters more in this than anybody. Is particularly the PBC and Al Heyman. I've been singing the same tune for quite some time. And I mean, it's materialized. I mean, people are gonna say, "Oh, well, we got the fight." Yeah, we got the fight 5-6 years after they first started talking about the fight. 1, 2. I mean, everything leading up to the fight, as far as like when it comes to discussing the fan bases. I mean, you have people from PBC that actually work at PBC, giving the impression that, there was no money for this fight. Oh, we ain't gonna be able to find no 20 million. My man, like Canelo's purse tonight was 45 million, I believe, and fucking 8 million for Triple G, though he can make up to fucking 40 million, which he's not gonna make. That fight tonight, bro. I mean, if it sold 600,000, I would be amazed. Like these dudes be lying about these pay-per-view numbers. Believe me when I tell you, like nobody was talking about that fight tonight. Nobody. Part 3. Fuck out of here. And it was boring. I mean, not that I watched it, but like I mean, everybody on YouTube, like fucking Southpaw, as he was calling the fight, was also mentioning the fact as to it being boring. I mean, and he doesn't like Canelo, but it is what it is. But I've heard other people. Mark Nash was talking on the fight, and he had a survey as to what people thought about the fight, and I think 40% damn near of the survey said that it was a boring fight. I mean, like fucking. I mean, not that I caught it live, but seemingly it's boring. But they found 45 million for that. They found 45 million for Canelo. Like, so, and they're telling you, PBC is telling you that they can't find money for Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford. That was like a fucking hurdle. But they find money like for Canelo every time out. Not just the zone, and not just fucking Golden Boy. PBC also finds money for Canelo. You don't think PBC would fucking pay Canelo $50 million to fight fucking Jamal Charlo or some shit, so he could fucking beat up Jamal Charlo and weight drain with some shit? Come on. All these dudes are doing it, but the thing that PBC is like more overt with it, as far as like giving lame excuses as to why the fight's not happening, playing the fucking stupid side of the street game and the fucking A side game. Like this shit got real old for me. Like, I mean, and it got really old for me because the ridiculousness of it all was that neither Errol Spence or Bud Crawford are like these humongous boxers like that. There was only one fight that was going to make them big boxers. It's this fight. And you got one guy that's what, 34, and another guy that's fucking I don't know, like 30, 31, 32. I mean, give me a break. You think they're gonna fight? You think if you think Errol Spence and Bud Crawford are gonna fight 3 times, you got another thing coming. they may not even get they may not even do a rematch. I mean, like probably because they're obliged to, but outside of that, I mean, like, you know, you may get that fight twice. You know, but in the lead up to it, which I mean, it's a fucking tremendous lead up, 5 years, half a fucking decade waiting on this fight, with motherfuckers fronting left and right, particularly the promotion, PBC, like making it seem like Bud had to be over there to fucking get the fight. He gets fucking he's a free agent. I mean, there's more hurdles. Been a free agent for a while. As soon as he became a free agent, oh, let's go fight Ugas. Like what? Like who in the world was saying like fucking but Errol Spence needs to fight Ugas? Like this is a fight we need to see. Oh, it's for the belts. He set out to clean his side of the street. God damn it, he did. Like, oh wow, sweet. Here I am waiting on this other fight that I want to see, but you know, yeah, cleaning your side of the street. That's what we've been talking about for the past 5 years. You know, and at this time, I mean, like I'm a jaded boxing fan. I mean, and it's no big deal. I mean, I'm not gonna fucking riff about it. I may not even talk about this fight much more. I am gonna watch this fight though. I mean, like I fucking I'm gonna either go to somebody else's house or take a gamble of fucking streaming it again. I mean, but after tonight, not having success in finding a good stream for Canelo versus Triple G, I mean, I am gonna have to freeload off somebody else, or God forbid, pay to go to a fucking bar. But I mean, if I pay to go to a bar, it's pretty much paying for the fight here anyway. So hopefully my man Vin or my cuz buys that fight, and I'll go freeload at their house. That way I don't pay for food. But outside of that, I'm not going into my pockets for no fucking $95. This fight is gonna be like $95, if not $100 or more. I mean, and I get like why people saying, you know, well, it is the fight that we wanted, and we should reward these dudes fiscally. I mean, more power to you. I'm not rewarding these dudes fiscally. Me, this house is not fucking getting a cent from my pockets any longer. Fuck that. I mean, again, I'd be switching it up if people were coming here. Nobody's coming here. I'm purposely not inviting because I purposely don't want to spend $95 plus on this fucking fight. Fuck that, bro. And it's the PBC all the way that 90% of it, of my disenfranchisement with this fight, is a lot of it came from PBC. A lot of content creators, I mean, here on YouTube, you know, especially I'm not gonna say like pro-black in a mocking sense. I'm saying the pro-black content creators that picked the side on either side of this debate, whether it was Team Errol so I was gonna say Team Errol Sexual, but Team Errol Spence or Team Bud Crawford. You know, what the fuck was I gonna say? Oh, that's what I was gonna say. The PBC directly has been making it seem like, you know, it can't find money in essence for a black card. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, what are you gonna let them like? Oh, we can't find money. Like what? Can't find money? Like for real? Like fuck that. That's the excuse. But I mean, like, and if I remember correctly, I mean, like, they said that people were gonna steal the fight. Like, you know, that's pretty much saying that the fan base for Canelo isn't gonna steal the fight, but y'all motherfuckers are definitely gonna steal the fight. Well, you know, I'm bringing that into fruition. I mean, I'm not gonna pay for the fight, but I'm not gonna try stealing the fight this time around because it's a pain in the ass, like finding streams. But I'm not paying for it. Like, I'm never gonna pay for a fight again, probably. More likely than not, I'm never gonna pay for a fight. Is this fight even taking off? I just came in. I mean, I explained initially, like, from what I hear, like on YouTube, a lot of people had the same date, like I think November 17th or 19th, late November. But I didn't hear it from an accredited site like ESPN or Yahoo or some shit like that. For it to be metastasized in my brain, as at least, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because I mean, anybody on YouTube could say anything, but I did see a litany of people saying November 17th, the fight is on. November 17th, the fight is on. I mean, and that's fantastic. I am very happy that the fight is happening. The promotion is probably going to be shit because it's like 2 months from now. But And I am gonna watch the fight. No matter what, I'm gonna watch the fight, but that doesn't mean no matter what, I'm gonna pay for the fight. Fucking I don't spend much. I don't spend 125 bucks or 95 bucks US on much of anything, like fucking, let alone no fucking bullshit fight. Times are rough and tough like leather. November 19th, I mean, I'm already game planning some fucking Christmas shit. Not that I'm buying much motherfuckers Christmas shit this year, but I'd rather buy some fucking Christmas gifts than pay for a fight. You better believe that shit. And I usually throw bomb ass fucking Thanksgiving in this house, like so. I could spend that money on food. Fuck that. I mean, and at the end of the day, I mean, let me go back to my other point in regards to in what I interpret as shitting on the black fight fans and saying that the fight is going to be streamed or stolen in a sense if it's Bud Crawford and Errol Spence. That there's all these hurdles that we got to climb because this fight's going to be it's so fiscally hard to put on. Fuck that. That's stupid shit, bro. I mean, like, and honestly, I mean, since Bud has been a free agent, I mean, like, or since Bud Crawford has been a I forgot when he beat Amir Khan, but since that point, I mean, like, essentially he was a free agent. Like, since he beat Amir Khan, which I'm pulling up the date now, and my apologies. Since he beat Kell Brook or Sean Porter, he's been a free agent. So that was November 20th of 2021. All right, fucking So since then, he's been a free agent. I mean, we couldn't have this fight happen fucking in March of 2022. Fucking not at the damn near the end of 2022 with almost zero happening on the fucking boxing calendar. I mean, and boxing should be ill concerned as far as, okay, thank you for the info, my brother. Your title is why you have 3 viewers. No, I have 5 viewers currently at the moment, but even if I get 3, I mean, that's I have a celebration inside my heart. I usually have like 1 fucking viewer, but thank you for coming through, Mr. 24/7. But in regards to at this stage, like, for me, it's just not gonna happen. Like, fucking and I be rooting for Bud Crawford? Yeah, I am a Bud fan. Out of fighters that I like nowadays, I mean, as far as prominence, like where it's like must see TV. I mean, heavyweights always get a little bit more clout, or fights that I try to steal. Like heavyweights always get a little bit of it's an anomaly, so I always try to catch them. But Bud Crawford is probably a close second as to the people like, I gotta catch his fights. Shakur Stevenson, but he's way younger and those fights are free anyway. But having said that, I mean, like, fucking and even though I've had a lot of disparaging opinions on Errol Spence. I mean, I don't like Errol Spence in regards to dragging his feet on this fight particularly. And I do like the way that Bud Crawford fights a lot. Having said that, I mean, Bud Crawford, I wish you good luck in this fight. But as far as your share in regards to coming from me, don't hold your breath, pal. Like, fucking neither one of you guys. Like, fucking and it's nothing against the fighters. Again, it's the PVC. The bane of boxing right now is the fucking PVC, whether you like it or not. I mean, like, and if they with the budget that they've given bum ass fighters like fucking Canelo, like, to fight fucking Caleb Plant, which did nothing for your company, you probably could have ran this fucking Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford 3 times. You probably could have given these dudes 10 million a piece a couple years ago, and they would have been running into the ring. I mean, we could have already been on the third leg of a three-peat right now. But PBC dragged their ass on that. PBC disparaged Bud the whole way, like fucking and I mean like not that YouTube fucking fanboyism, you know, played anything into it in the grand scheme of things. But I mean like looking at it like from a 30-foot view, I guess. I mean, like, you know, people have like really drastic opinions when it comes to picking sides on either part of that debate, Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence. I mean, like, whatever side you're on, I'm taking just as much of a fucking strong stance or a dramatic stance and not paying for this shit. I'm never gonna pay for fucking boxing ever again. I don't even like force my son to watch boxing anymore. I used to fucking like, you know, and he used to like it, but it just comes on so fucking sporadically. Like dead ass, like I think the last fight I before tonight, I mean, like it was Randy Ruiz and Luis Ortiz. I mean, that was kind of recently, but before that it's been a while, quite a while. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking I don't even think I caught the Tiafimo fight as it happened live. I think I caught it after the fact, and I usually watch shit after the fact no matter what, but I mean, it just doesn't keep me engaged like that. And there's so much shit happening in the world otherwise. I mean, like fucking you know, like to be asking dudes to be paying for this fight at this stage. I mean, to be asking dudes to pay for any fight. Like none of these fights that they put on TV to me are worth fucking $20. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking I mean like this is from somebody who bought 4 pay-per-views at least per year. I probably bought way more than 4 pay-per-views at, you know, in a year. There was one year I think I didn't buy one pay-per-view fight. Like, or there was one pay-per-view fight that I didn't buy. Like now, boxing could eat dick. Like seriously. And maybe I'm saying that because I'm a fucking jaded fan, or maybe because football season just started, like too, so it helps like fucking to tell boxing to go fuck off, or that the fact that my team, the fucking New York Mets, are beasting right now. Fucking first seed in the playoffs beasting, bitch. And the fucking regular season's about to end. Who gives a fuck about boxing? For me, I'm a big time Met fan, but I mean, you know, this would never happen. 2006, the Mets were beasting. I would diss Met games for fucking boxing. You crazy? Now it's just whack, 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 whack. And in addition to the fact that what I wanted to foray into earlier is the fucking how fucking all the nutty shit going on. Yo, dudes out here fucking on YouTube begging. I mean, I'm not gonna, you know, rip nobody apart particularly, but you know, that's not happening because of magic. That's happening because motherfuckers are broke out there, like fucking, you know, and motherfuckers are broke out there, in my opinion, my humble opinion, somewhat educated opinion, because these are unprecedented times as far as fucking people's finances, fucking nuttiness happening around the world. You name it. I mean, fucking these are crazy ass times. You know, you like, will you debate me on that fucking or not agree? Like fucking the world is fucking bananas right now. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking and where like maybe I remember like when it was leading up to this fight, like I would be on vacation, like fucking what, like listening to YouTube boxing and shit, like, oh, like, you know, thinking that, you know, like this fight's not gonna happen. There's no way that Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford would happen after 2020. Like I remember vividly, like 2020, 2019, like people debating like fucking Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford. Yo, now we're about to finish 2022. Yo, we went through a whole fucking Corona shit, bro. Like fucking the Queen died, like, and this fight still didn't get made. What, like fucking you crazy, bro? Like fucking all this crazy shit that's happening now, like fucking, and like this fight's coming to the party, like, you know, I don't know. It's just I did, and again, like, you know, I waited until this fight materialized to make my not decision. I mean, because I probably wasn't gonna pay for the fight anyway. or there was probably a 10% chance that I would pay for the fight. But I didn't want to put energy in the fight not being made. But if this fight doesn't get made outright, I mean, again, like, you know, everything I've heard was November 19th. I don't have any inside sources. I don't even know how to operate this fucking laptop that I'm using now. But this is all from YouTube hearsay again. But you know, I don't know. It's just and that's what I want to say. If the fight doesn't materialize and it doesn't get made, would I be surprised? Not one fucking iota. I'd expect this fight or some stupidity to happen and we don't get this fight again. You know, and I could guarantee if that were to happen, it's for some PBC stupidity. I mean, it was PBC stupidity at the end of the day, more so than Anthony Joshua being a pussy, as to why Wilder versus AJ didn't get made. You know what I'm saying? And my assessment was that AJ was ducking that fight, but I don't think PBC helped one iota in making that fight, not one bit. You know, and you could debate that with me if you want, but a lot of the dudes that were saying like fucking 50-50 and no fight when it came to like Wilder and AJ, you know, were the same ones like fucking who does Bud think he is, like fucking like, you know, asking for 20 million. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like at the end of the day, if you're that kind of content creator, like fucking did you help to make this fight? Not one bit. You know, I just recently started listening to YouTube boxing again a little bit more than I have in the past, and a lot of the channel suggestions that I get, it's like corny motherfucker, like dudes that I'm gonna be frank, like I didn't hear of a lot of these cats, but they might be being suggested to me based on like the algorithm, you know, YouTube, but just corny fucking business content, like Errol's Bud Crawford waited all this time only to lose in these negotiations, like, you know, with clown ass fucking thumbnails, like making Bud look sad or some shit. And you know, if I were to point that out or whatnot, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, you're one of them Bud fans or some shit." No, bro, like I give a shit. I'm not gonna pay for the fight. I'm telling you, like, you know, fucking at the end of the day, like that's the kind of non-pressure from dick riding fans, more so Errol Spence fan in my eyes. You know, that's not an insult outright. I mean, like, unless you're fucking emotional. But at the end of the day, I mean, like, did y'all help to make this fight? Not one bit. Like, once you saw Errol Spence weaseling his way out of not wanting this fight to be made, you put up every hurdle, like every shitty excuse that PBC came out with. Oh, well, like the fight, we can't find 20 million. Oh, of course, who does Bud think he is asking for 20 million? Oh, we can't pay Bud what he expects. Oh, you see, Bud expects to be paid the same thing as he was making on top. You know, like fucking. Oh, Errol Spence. Errol Spence got a text from his coach, telling him to leave the post fight of Bud Crawford and Sean Porter. Yeah, because you see what happened is you don't know business. Because yeah, when your coach tells you to leave a fight, you better leave because that could be a stipulation on the contract. Like, you know, like did y'all kind of content creators, which there were many of y'all, like, you know, in these past 4 or 5 years, like, you know, that were making all these excuses. Did you help, or did your knowledge of business, like fucking you know, you don't know the boxing business. Did your knowledge of boxing business throughout the time of all this shitty content that a lot of you guys like have been creating in the last like 5 years, did it help make the fight? I mean, and this is more like aimed at like the aerosexual content creators, to be frank, because they had more of that kind of talk, like as far as acting like it was some sort of flex, like that Errol Spence beat fucking Ugas or some shit, or fucking homeboy from Washington that had to come up for 140, Peterson, to fight Errol Spence. But you know, at the end of the end, I was just venting in that little session too. You know, it's not that kind of party, no beef. But you know, I'm saying this more in hindsight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and because I could rub it in your faces at this stage, you know, at this stage, say what you will, like it took 6 years to fucking make this fight. And your dick riding, regardless of what faction you know, or what fan base you rooting for, um, got us nothing. And a lot of you guys that defend PVC or get butt hurt for fucking God forbid somebody criticizing a fucking corporation, um, you know, the excuses that were put out by the PVC were put out by businessmen. But a lot of you guys like that were aerosexual channels at times would come on here fucking defending shit rumors that businessmen would put out or disparaging fucking statements about Bud Crawford that fat fuck that works at PVC Tim Smith would put out. Like, I mean, like, you know, and you guys would like ride with that like fucking as if it was being read off the Bible or some shit. But again, I mean, you didn't help this fight materialize. I mean, this fight materialized because Errol Spence had nowhere else to go, seemingly. It was either fight Keith Thurman or fight fucking Bud Crawford at the end of the day. You know, and that's what we're relegated to. Fucking I forgot who Wilder's gonna fight next, but that seems like a lame ass fight. And of course, pay-per-view. Again, eat shit. I'm not paying for that shit. And I love Wilder. And Wilder's on his way out, bro. I'm not gonna pay for no fucking goodbye tour kind of fight, like with you fighting whatever the fuck this guy's name is, the that bearded fella. But besides that, I mean, damn, I wanted to stay till 3. I am gonna stay till 3. I mean, but as far as world news goes, which I love doing my little world news sessions, Ukraine is still popping off. Fucking, I still think that war is a bunch of bullshit. I had that assessment in February or March. If you guys go back to my video history, I don't take shit down, but I was right about Ukraine. Right about a lot of things. I was right about the homeboy begging. I mean, a lot of people soured on homeboy now, Willie, but I mean, I had I'm pretty sure if you look at my disparaging videos on Willie Boy, they probably are 2 or 3 years old at least, I think. But I mean, I don't want to kick dude down while he's too much. I mean, or I don't want to kick dude down too much. I don't want to kick dude while he's down too much. But here goes. I mean, like in that sense, I mean, like, you know, I have tuned in a little bit. Like, you know, I'll show up and I'll diss old Willie Boy, like when somebody's going in on him elsewhere. But you know, he had like a video I think yesterday, and like he mentions me and like lies about me again. So I mean, like, how bad could I feel about it, dude? Even though, like, I mean, somebody being like fiscally fucked is nothing to laugh about, like, you know. But at the end of the day, come on, COVID, like, and you need donations to help you out, like for house shit. Give me a break. That'd be like saying like I got the flu and like fucking, could you guys help me out? Or I got back pain, like, could you help me out? I'd laugh at it. If one of my friends told me like, bro, like, you know, fucking I need help because of COVID, I'd probably say like, you know, do you have a drug issue or some shit? Like, why are you trying to run that excuse on me? COVID, get out of here. I probably had COVID twice, like fucking still Gucci, still here. But having said all that, what pisses me off in that situation, as it relates to me, is like the whole line part of it. Like fucking like I'm gonna call a motherfucker like or I'm gonna call him like fucking begging him like to try to backdoor out of some bullshit. My man, like I've fucking had real beef. Like on that side of the street, not on no fucking internet, and ran across. Like fucking you think I'm gonna be fearing some internet dude like fuck, or calling you like some fucking lying ass dude like, yeah, help me, I am ill will, I can't take it, the internet beef, fuck out of here. Still lying like years later. Like, so I mean, like, as much as it is sad, I mean, like, you know, because I mean it does have to be dire circumstances to go out there like to beg for money. Like, you know, I don't want to laugh at that. You know, I don't, you know, if it's like trying to give an example. Like if it's a fucking a roof problem or some shit. You know, a problem that's like 10 G's, and like, you know, you're trying to make it seem um like saying that, you know, your family got COVID, like will probably tug on people's heartstrings more and give you money for that sense. I mean, I don't want to laugh at that kind of situation. It probably could have been a similar situation, but it probably wasn't. It's probably like some bum money, like trapper keeper money or some shit. But you know, and I'm only saying this stuff now, or only like fucking mentioning that stuff because I mean, don't lie on me, dude. Like fucking, you know, if I legit like fucking said something, bro, like I usually tell people as I talk to them, like fucking, or if I say something about somebody, I'll be like, yo, you could go tell that motherfucker. Like in relations to like, and people on YouTube that I talk to here and there, like most of the time, like if I've talked about your ass or any of these other crusty motherfuckers you run with, I usually tell them like, you go tell that motherfucker I said that, like fucking up. And I, you know, I'm pretty sure like fucking dudes don't relay shit to you, or like if they do, like you probably come up with a lie or some shit on the spot, like you did yesterday. But that's why you really can't feel bad for fucking Willie in my eyes, like because fucking asshole. Like don't lie on me, dude. Like fucking you know, or don't lie on me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like where you keep fucking repeating some bullshit, like or a lie, like because your boy don't run from nobody, like fucking and I mean like if not that I'm gonna go fucking looking for this asshole bum ass dude, but you know, I would like to see what's up, like you know, as far as like fucking if I ever saw him at a fight or some shit, you know, we're gonna have some words. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking don't lie on me, dude. Like that's fucking that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking if you don't like me, that's one thing, but don't say like that I fucking did something or fucking say shit like cuz that's not nice. And fucking you if dudes want to I mean like not that, but I was going to say if you play not nice, I'm not going to be nice either. But you know, dead that shit outright by just shutting the fuck up, bro. Like I think you should just take that advice in general. You know, keep your mouth shut in general. Like you're too scandalous, and that's why you're in the pickle that you're in now. I mean, and I'm never, and this is coming from a dude that's been homeless, like fucking in the past. Like I've been at the point where I ain't have shit, zero. You know, nothing, and I've never asked nobody for zero. You know, not that it is a flex for me, but I could relate in that sense, in the sense that I've had zero like to my name, zero zero zero, or lived on the fucking slept in the trains. I slept in the train for a whole month. I fucking getting woken up by fucking dudes trying to rob my shit like on the train. Adults, fucking 15 years old, staying on the train for months, and still hanging out on my block. And like my friends don't know I'm living in the train. Slept in my mother's hallway fucking for weeks, and legit like fucking as an adult been homeless or not have money. You know, fucking but I can relate in that end. But I can't relate to fucking scandalous bitches, bro. Like, or I can't, and I definitely can't relate to like no motherfucker lying about like me personally. That's not nice, you know. But fiscally, I mean, like I don't wish for your downturn, like fucking in that sense. I do hope you recover in that sense. If I could give any advice, like fucking I mean, there's always something you could sell. Like fucking, I sell my shit all the time. Like fucking, that way you don't got to come out here looking bad, bro. Like I don't want it. Like it, you know, it sucks to see a brother struggling, regardless. Like fucking, especially one with the family and all that shit. So I'm not gonna, you know, I ain't a heartless scumbag like that. But you know, a lot of ill will, you know, you bring upon yourself. You know what I'm saying? And but it's also a representation in my eyes, like of what I talk about a lot of times on this channel. Like, you know, the fiscal problems that are happening, like fucking it's giving dudes the squeeze, you know, heavy duty. I mean, I'm feeling the squeeze of the fiscal pinch that's happening for everybody around the country, like fucking paying extra for gas. Like I don't got, I mean, I'm doing okay, but I don't got like that. Like I can't be fucking or I'm not an idiot that fucking my gas is like $30 more like 1 week for the next, and like think, oh well, that's just it. No, I'm fucking bitching about that shit for a fucking whole day, or wondering how the fuck could I save money like doing some other shit, and that's if you're in the UK, that's if you're in fucking Brooklyn, New York City, that's if you're in Africa. Shit has gone to shit all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people are feeling it mostly fiscally. You know, and I feel for that. I do. Fucking at the end of the day. But these are unprecedented times. These are crazy ass times for a reason, and things are only gonna get much worse. Like, I mean, like if you could take any advice from me, like fucking trust that things will get way worse. And your only way to prevent things from getting way worse for you, whether regardless who the fuck you is watching now or will watch this later, start doing homework, like or fucking don't sit on your ass and like learn ways where you can start saving bread. It fucking adds up, And this is coming somebody who is extremely reckless with money, who was making several G money, like fucking whatever double digits, like fucking like there was months where I made 40 grand, fucking 20 years old or 21 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there were times I was fucking homeless after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but and there were times I was reckless with my money recently. I mean, I've gone to Pasha and fucking spent 4 grand, 5 grand. Like I've gone to clubs and spent 9 grand. Like fucking but the time for fronting is over. For wherever the fuck you are, I don't care where you're watching this from. The time for being reckless with your bread is over, like officially. Like a lot of this shit that you're doing, like setting your life up, like and taking a vacation to where tons of other people go, just so you can take an asshole picture and be on your phone, fucking by some nasty ass poolside, fucking for a couple of days and spending G money doing it. I mean, you're probably not gonna be doing it next year. So what can you do now? Like, I mean, like fucking start being strategic with your fucking bread, with your house. Even if you're fucking sharing a room with somebody right now and you got no bread, even if you're in a homeless shelter right now, like and got very little money coming in, like what are you gonna do? Feel sorry for yourself and stay in the homeless shelter, or are you gonna grab the day by the balls and squeeze until it's on his knees and fucking get the fuck out that homeless shelter? And if you get out that fucking homeless shelter, or it's because you started thinking strategically. But when you do fucking get that next step, think strategically even more. I mean, and that's the way you get out the fucking rut, or not fall into the rut. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, like fucking and that's one of the reasons why I'm fucking cheap too. I mean, you gotta be cheap nowadays. Crazy? You crazy? Like fucking fronting for these nasty ass bitches that you could bag on Tinder. You over here fucking wasting bread for fucking have a cool pic on the gram. Fuck out of here. And again, I mean, like, had I been 30, like at this current stage, like, with a lot of money, I probably would have blown it. But unprecedented times call for unprecedented measures, and at this stage, I can't blow the fiscal stability of this house, and your ass can't do it either. Nobody. Like, this isn't a diss, but that there are not many people that could survive a $10,000 problem. Fucking it'd be tough for me. I mean, tough in the sense that I'd be stressing about it, but a lot of dudes would have to change up a lot of shit for a problem that's 4 or 5 G's. You're a couple paychecks away from being broke, most people. And that's a sad state of affairs for everybody. And I'm not saying it dissing people, like, I'm saying it in the sense that people need to wake up because things are gonna get way worse, like fucking in my eyes. But that's me ranting off again. But I do gotta come back here more often, bro. Like, sorry I've been fronting so much. And again, I mean, like, you do gotta commend me. Last night I was extremely inebriated, and I think I fell asleep like at 6 in the morning, and I wasn't extremely inebriated. I drank 3 very strong beers, but I haven't drank for a while. Like I got fucking really drunk off the 3. But this morning, me and my wife both had like fucking bomb ass hangovers, and I still got it right now. I don't take like Motrin and shit like that, and I took 3 today. I don't take pills at all, honestly. But I took 3 today because I feel like dog shit. But I did want to come on here though, like fucking because things are spicy on on YouTube of late. But I did want to come on here because I'm fucking sitting on my hands, not making content. But I do want to. I am gonna start coming on more. Met season is about to be over. Fucking hopefully we win the World Series. You won't see me here till October, if that's the case. Fucking because I ride with the Mets and everything else could fucking kick rocks. But I mean the fucking Queen died. That's bananas too. I mean, I normally would have made a video about that. Like fucking I'm a big time follower of the monarchy. I think the monarchy might cease to exist soon, for in the capacity that we know it now. I mean, just my opinion. Any other opinions that I have? I think a lot of the stuff that's happening in relation to a lot of these drag queens reading to kids in libraries. I mean, if I didn't give my opinion about that now, or if you don't know about that problem, look it up. But my opinion, I think that's disgusting. I think that people doing things that are sexual in nature in the presence of children, which happens at a lot of these drag show, these strip shows with drag queens, fucking in quotes, where there's little kids there. I think that's terrible. I mean, my son's 20 years old. If I were to take my son to Hooters, I mean, if my friend told me, oh, I took my son to Hooters and he's 20 years old, I'm not gonna look at him like, oh, fuck, God, you're a piece of shit. Like, but I wouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Hooters, if you don't know, is a restaurant where bitches wear like short shorts and like usually have big tits too. Like a lot of the girls that work there, but they have and especially in New York, they have really cute ones in the New York spots. And you know, personally, I've never been to Hooters, but I've met a ton of chicks like it that worked at Hooters, because a lot of them would work at strip clubs, and I don't go to strip clubs either, but a lot of them would go to like the regular clubs, like the techno house clubs that I used to frequent my whole life, honestly. But having said that though, I wouldn't bring my fucking 20-year-old super mature son to Hooters out of like sheer like inappropriateness in my eyes. But these motherfuckers want to be bringing kids to some shit where a fucking asshole that's dressed as a woman is dancing in front of kids, and the kids are like tipping these assholes, like fucking and like some of the kids are fucking terrified, dude. Because let's be honest, man, like a lot of these fucking dudes that dress up as bitches, they look like fucking Cruella de Vil. Like they be bringing like babies to these things, like where fucking dudes are like dressed up as women, drag queens, like fucking dancing for bread. I mean, like, you know, those motherfuckers that have like fucking blue green hair, a ton of makeup, like fucking eyelashes the size of my fingers, and like the size of my fingers, and you could see kids at these events. They've had like hidden camera joints. The kids are fucking terrified, bro. Them motherfuckers are shook. And the ones that aren't, they're either just there fucking stoned out, probably like because their yuppie fucking asshole parents put them in front of an iPad all day and give them fucking Ritalin or Valium, or have their kids on a bunch of prescriptions. But those kids are, I mean, they're fucking probably ruined forever. You know, like I mean, I'm telling you from personal experience, in the sense that I was very cognizant of what was happening around me when I was like 5, 6. Like I felt like an adult at 5 or 6, and I thought like a fucking adult at 5 or 6. Now, if you would have brought me to one of those shits at 5 or 6, if you would have brought me that shit at fucking 12, my life would probably be significantly different in a terrible way. You know, and now like all of a sudden, like it's like this shit is happening, and you can't even talk negatively about it. This video may get kiboshed for me even bringing it up, but I mean, since it is gonna get kiboshed, it's fucking gross in my eyes. But that's been happening too since I last stopped doing content as much. What else is happening? Politics are fucking bananas right now. I mean, like, you got the new prime minister in the UK. I think his name is Triss. Fucking right before the Queen died. Suspicious. But you also have political craziness here. I mean, a lot of these immigrants that are coming into the southern border are being shipped into liberal cities. I mean, as I'm very opposed to an open border, very, very opposed to an open border. But I don't, even though I tepidly like Ron DeSantis as a politician, I think Greg Abbott is a shit politician out of Texas, the governor of Texas. But the fact that they're shipping migrants to Martha's Vineyard, which is an affluent island, which is only frequented by assholes that are fucking billionaires that have regular houses in Boston and spend the summers in Martha's Vineyard. The fact that they're shipping a lot of these immigrants that are mostly from Venezuela into these areas, I mean, it's hilarious to me in a sense, because I mean, it's not a mass amount of people that are being shipped to these areas, it's like 100 or 200, but it does have an effect. I mean, but to propose, like, if you were to move, like, I live in a city. I mean, well, all right, I'll go back to like when I lived in Brooklyn, because I lived in Brooklyn recently. But if you would have moved my neighborhood, Sunset Park, I think had, I forget how many people it had exactly, but I think it was like around 100,000 people. Now, if they moved 50 people into Sunset Park that weren't there yesterday, you'll notice. I would notice. But you know, to ship 50 people into Martha's Vineyard, where it's all like these small houses, they too will notice. But you know, for it to be an issue when it happens in Martha's Vineyard or these other places that it's happening, you know, we got to be very honest as far as like when talking about that happening in mass everywhere, because they're gonna be fucking in this neighborhood, like where I live now. I don't want no motherfuckers here, bro. Fuck out of here. Like, and I'm a Latin motherfucker too, but and you know, it's not about being racist against fucking Latinx Latins. You're one of those whiter Latins. Like, no, motherfucker. Like, I don't want nobody from anywhere like fucking where I'm at. Period. Like, I want less people. My circle's here. Like, I want to be here. Fucking I don't want to see like fucking more motherfuckers anywhere. Like, if that shit gets inundated here, like, I mean, it's not like they're proposing like for my neighborhood particularly, but if some yuppie asshole like politician like fucking wants to make a political gesture and fucking suggest that they come here, like fucking, of course I'd be up in arms. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they moved like 1,000, like where I live now, like, I'm out of here, bro. Like, fuck out of here. But what else is happening? Oh, I mean, like war popping off in West Africa too, Eritrea, I mean, Ethiopia, Somalia, like very tenuous things happening over there. Greece and Turkey were about to get it popping the other day in the I think the Aegean Sea. There was a little naval skirmish. You got the shit with Russia and Ukraine, other countries like at the precipice of getting involved, i.e. Poland, Lithuania, fucking it's always some shit with that, and that's gonna be fucking up your finances very soon. I mean, a lot of the energy comes from Russia. I mean, to all of Europe, without a doubt. I mean, to my European bros, I mean, good luck this fucking winter without having Russian gas to heat your homes. I mean, like fucking you'll probably get supplied by this country, and this country also doesn't produce much in the way of crude oil. I mean, so who knows? I mean, like, there's a lot of craziness happening, and it seems like it's happening like right fucking now. So I mean, like, if I had any advice to give in that end too, I mean, like, you're on this earth for some reason, and you're living on the earth right now, fucking September 18th, 2022, in the craziest times ever. I'm a fucking old man, and I'm telling you, this is the craziest shit that I'm living through right now, and that the world is living through right now ever. I lived through the 80s. I remember the 80s vividly. I remember the crack era vividly. The first time I seen somebody smoke crack, I was 87. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking the but and I was in a shitty area in the 80s, like in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? But I remember going to Bushwick when my dad would go meet up with his fucking friends in Bushwick and get shit faced fucking and I would have to walk home with him um to the trains while he was drunk in Bushwick when that shit was popping in the 80s, fucking bad as fuck, or in the Bronx when it was fucking bad as fuck. Walking around with my dad at night, people wouldn't fuck with you now. Walk around New York anywhere, people always try to test. Crazy mother. Everybody's going crazy. And that's everywhere. Like dudes are spazzing right now. And it's not like a reason to it's not that I'm some fucking puss, like, you know, oh well, God forbid. Like, you know, but you know, who wants to be dealing with all that shit? You don't want to be fucking fighting with crazy dudes, bro. Like fucking, and they're everywhere. I mean, and people are going crazy legit because of the pinch. The pinch is being felt right now more than ever. You know, and imagine like anybody, whoever the fuck is watching this, if you went from being okay to being fucking having conversations with yourself about living on the street and whatnot, you would probably go crazy too. And that's probably what you're seeing out here in New York. Like dudes that got fucking their brains rocked in by losing it all. And a lot of people are losing it all here lately in 2022. And if I had to predict anything as far like, you know, will that trend continue? I think certainly it will continue and things will only worsen. But in spite of that, though, what I wanted to say was that this is the craziest time I ever lived in. But you got to ask yourself, like, God or the gods put you on this earth right now for something. Like, you're here because of some reason, you know, and look at that optimistically. Like, go out there and get it. Like, fucking and I'm not saying it like fuck. I don't want to be one of these peppy ass dudes like fucking or to give pep talk like. But if you are on if you're on the deck or on the ground as we speak, fucking lift yourself up. Like fucking go out there and get it. I mean, like, you know, and this is coming like and I tell this to a lot of people. Like I tell this as family. Like I have a lot of family that fucking like, you know, shit's bad for me because of this one or fucking like, and I'm like, yo, I don't want to hear it. Like I like who got the time for that shit at this stage when I could be personally on a personal level be game planning for myself. And what the fuck is me listening to your bullshit gonna do for me? I mean, I could I give you some words of encouragement? Absolutely. But beyond that, I mean, like I have way less time for that thing, for any of that kind of shit nowadays because everything's nuts, you know, and you got to think tactically. But I do hope you heed that advice and protect yourself fiscally. I always recommend buying silver and gold if you could, physical silver and physical gold. If it's not in your hands, it's not yours. Never invest in fucking gold stock or silver stock or in silver mining companies. If you are, you're a fucking asshole. Imagine the dollar falling apart and silver or gold being worth a lot, and you have your money in silver stocks or gold stocks. You think that you're gonna get silver or gold or what that stock is worth at the time, then you are really kidding yourself. Um, but physical silver, physical gold, I mean, It could be somewhat costly, but it's not. Physical silver, you're not gonna pay more than $30 an ounce right now. You can find it anywhere. Gold, you'll probably pay about $1,800, even though I don't recommend it as much as I do silver. But these are things that if you are holding a little bit of it in real financial calamity, which we're on the doorstep of, you could probably be okay. Who knows? If it's worth a ton, like fucking, then you'll be doing more than okay. But what other advice could I give on that end? I don't know. Fucking buy food now if you could. Food keeps going up in price. I just bought a bunch, not a bunch of food, like a pickup truck, the back of my pickup truck, worth of food from a warehouse that was closing down. Shit that doesn't perish. But that's because and I got a story about that too. But that's because I got to fucking think tactically now because shit is fucking rough out here. And it's not that I'm gonna starve. I have enough fucking food in this house to keep me afloat for years. You should look up January 1st, 2023, Illinois. Bill is being passed. A bill is being passed to where they let out some criminals, bro. Oh no, I know about that vividly. I don't know about the letting out the criminals, but I know like that if you're arrested for like second degree murder, that you no longer had to put up bail to be released. And the thing is too, I mean, how many crimes do they show on your regular local news here in New York, Chicago, wherever the fuck have you, in which they say, oh, this dude was out on bail or this dude was out on parole. And like they're letting more and more of that run out there now. And I'm not like one of these dudes, lock them up. But yo, like fucking motherfuckers are legit like 730 right now running around out here. Like, so what do you want me to do? Endure it? No, I don't endure shit. Motherfuckers endure me. I don't endure a motherfucker at all. And that's with anything. I'm not saying it as a fucking tough guy, but if that's the case, I mean, like, when it came to Brooklyn, I mean, like, Brooklyn was getting worse when I was still there a couple of years ago as far as living there. I still go to Brooklyn almost every day. But Brooklyn was getting worse as I was living there. I wasn't noticing it as much, but when I'm gonna say like fucking probably pre-corona, like I started like noticing things getting real bummy, like in my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't see people like hood dudes in my neighborhood dress up like trying to impress bitches and shit. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to look fly. You don't even see bitches like honestly, like even young ones that are like back in the day, like in the 90s, like you like where I lived, like it was just fucking fruit in a cup, like the bitches that would walk around dressed to the fucking tees, looking beautiful. Now bitches look like depressed, like fucking they come out their house looking like shit because they know, like I mean, like and not that fucking guys look much better, but everybody looks like downtrodden bums, like where I live at least, or where I'm from. And that was never the case, like fucking back in the day. You kidding me? Like in high school, like fucking, it was a fucking outright war and competition as to who looked the best. Now everybody just fucking gave up. And I think everybody gave up because I mean, like there are more important things that people have to endure by force. Like when I lived in that's when I started noticing. I'm not gonna say this kid's name. I mean, not that he's gonna fucking watch my videos, but I believe no, this was probably like when I started noticing things like looking more bummy in my neighborhood. I remember um I moved to this little spot and it was near kind of busy train station in my neighborhood, 9th Avenue. But I ended up bumping into some dude that was, I guess, coming out of that train station, and like we ended up bumping into each other at the store. But it was a kid I went to high school. He wasn't my friend like that, like fucking somebody I see here or there. I kind of didn't like him like that, but when you see people that you haven't seen from the past as an adult, it's like even if you have beef with them sometimes, you at least you give a head nod and shit. Like motherfucker, you survived like I have. Like, but I stopped and said what's up to him, like, because I would do that normally anyway. But I had seen him maybe like once a year, maybe like here and there, like, and I knew he was working at this one particular place. I'm not gonna say the job because in the event that the kids see the video, you know, I don't want them to feel bad. But I remember the last time I bumped into him and chopped it up with him. The time before that, I remember he was with like two little like kids or some shit, and he introduced me to the kids. But then the time afterwards, he had told me that he gotten fired and all this shit, like not too far, like a couple weeks or months earlier, whatever. I don't know. But the dude asked me like for money. Like he was like, fucking you couldn't lend me some money, did you? And I actually did give him some bread. I don't want to say how much, but I felt terrible. But the dude is not like a bummy dude like that either. And if I remember correctly, I think the guy, his family may have owned like the house, like where like that he lived in my neighborhood. Which I mean, like that's even back in the day when those houses were worth $125,000. Like that was like, oh shit, like that's like high class for back in the day. But what, like I thought, like because I knew my family couldn't afford no fucking house. But when he asked me for money, which had to have been like what 2019, 2018, I felt fucking terrible. But it kind of like metastasized for me, like what I was seeing like in my neighborhood, like things. I see a lot more dudes hanging around like fucking that I knew were working here or working there lately. And I'm seeing a lot more fucking yuppies moving in, like, and these dudes that are no longer working probably can't afford where the fuck they live. And these yuppies, like fucking who have Black Lives Matter posters and all this shit, will gladly fucking see you on the street and they'll move into your apartment. You better believe that. And I would tell people this in early 2000s, fucking 2010s, 2015, 2020s, like fucking, and people would look at me like as if I was talking fucking blasphemy. And now people tell me like, yo, Joe, you were absolutely right. And I was fucking, because I look into these things. I knew gentrification when it came to New York was gonna fuck up New York, and it did. Gentrification fucked up Chicago, fucked up LA. And I've been noticing gentrification since the late 90s. Being all up and down Harlem, fucking seeing spots in Harlem on Black National Theater Road and fucking between 125th and 124th, fucking brownstones that were going for 50 grand that are now worth fucking 4 million with a bunch of yuppies in it. Like fucking it was always a bad recipe, and it's kind of like playing out now too. I'm noticing when I go to New York now, a lot of yuppies are dipping off. Like we are always gonna have a lot of yuppies moving into New York because they fucking watch Friends and fucking Sex in the City and want to waste their trust fund money or their inheritance fucking living in New York for some stupid reason. And I'm glad when they get beat up by these fucking crazy ass bums, fucking or when they fucking get harassed like fucking the broads. Nobody told you to live in New York, motherfucker. But what I am seeing though, a lot of like the real wealthy spots in New York, when I drive through there now, they're fucking vacated, like Upper West Side. Like, and I am seeing in like Upper West Side Manhattan, like what other areas like where I wouldn't see bums before, like by West Side Highway, like in that part of the village near the West Side Highway, fucking this is not just New York yuppie areas. I'm gonna name some other ones too, but Upper West Side Highway, New York area, Central Park, West area, you see mad bums there now. Before, like the cops, like GP, if you were acting up or like fucking just me, a regular Latin dude walking around, like cops would be fucking grilling you. Now they let bums set up shop, and like fucking a lot of those people that have the bread, they dipped or they're not coming back until years later, when things maybe get better, if they get better, but they have the means to do that shit. But New York in mass just gets shittier and shittier every day. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking But another yuppie area that I've been to recently that was flooded with bums was Boston. Yo, Boston as a city was fucking mad clean like 5 years ago. Like now you go to Boston, I never used to even see bums. If I saw two bums in Boston, and I've been to Boston maybe 5 times, 6 times, maybe more than that. I've been to Boston way more than that. I probably before that, all the times I've been to Boston, probably seen like 4 bums or some shit. Go to Boston now, bro. Bums have set up shop. And like it's not fucking for me, fucking middle class, fucking lower middle class, fucking foul playsky to feel fucking like it's my obligation to be fucking footing the bill with a lot of this stuff, like in terms of immigration and whatnot, like fucking or in terms of whatever they're doing for homeless people in New York. I mean, like fucking if and I'm pretty sure that has a humongous budget, but whatever they're doing isn't fucking putting a scratch onto things. And I hear a lot of people tell me that the shelter system in New York is worse than jails. Actually, I know this for certain, not from me living in no fucking shelter. I would never live in a shelter. That's for fucking bums. But that it's no secret. I've heard tons of people say that shit. So it's money like that's spent stupidly, but a lot of the stuff that's happening now, or some of the stuff that's happening now that you're footing the bill for, are dumb plans that your government may have put in place, like fucking i.e. like fucking taking a hands-off approach when it came to the shit that's happening at the border now. I mean, like if that cost any money to fix, as far as like footing the bill for a lot of these new entrants into the country, if that cost any money to fix, you John Doe American that's living in America right now, oh, I'm not American, fuck it. No, motherfucker. You live here like fucking for those of you that live here, we don't really call American like fucking I'm not gonna make this a patriotic stance of mine because I'm not patriotic in that sense. But if you live here and you gotta and the government gotta foot the bill for fucking new entrants into this country that are spilling in the mass, I mean, they're not gonna cut the check. You will. Or they're not gonna have to endure their kids going to school with fucking some newly made like fucking poor class of people. Your kids are gonna have to go like to school with them, and I wouldn't recommend your kids going to school any fucking way. But I mean, like it's gonna give you more of a reason fucking to start looking into homeschooling your nasty ass kids. You know what I'm saying? But people like take a really dumb approach when they talk about these things, i.e., or mostly fucking minorities, like fucking take a dumb approach when they talk about these things. And a lot of times when I talk about these things, people take to it in a prickly fashion, but it's not coming from a perspective of somebody being a prick. Me, I mean, like fucking I'm telling you fucking real shit that's playing out right in front of you. That's probably gonna cost you a ton of bread. Or like I'm giving you reasons as to why like shit is getting incrementally or dramatically worse and worse every fucking day. That's why dudes are spazzing out here, begging on YouTube and whatnot. But sorry, fucking But with that, now I am gonna legit break out fucking trying to think if I missed any crazy news stories or like crazy shit that happened. Oh, fucking what happened to COVID? What happened to COVID? What's up? Like now nobody talks about COVID. Everybody had their fucking hot boy summer. Like, I mean, I've never heard somebody say that, but if you're one of my peoples and you ever say some shit like hot boy summer, you're not one of my peeps any longer. But what the fuck happened to COVID? Like fucking you distance yourself from family for what? For the flu. Nah, I mean, I don't want to get this fucking stream kibosh. Like fucking COVID is a serious fucking thing. But ultimately, remember like a fucking year ago, like how that was the everything. Like fucking while you were watching news, they had fucking red letters on like a third of the screen, like fucking casualties, like fucking as if you couldn't open your windows because you would fucking get sick or some shit. Like now what? Like fucking now everybody got to enjoy their summer. Like fucking, and I'm not saying that, oh, you should have took COVID more serious. Like, no, you should have followed my advice from Jump Street street and enjoyed your fucking summer in spite of fucking the disease. Like fucking never let people tell you like fucking what you can and can't do. I mean, like that's with anything. Like people that were forced to take the T to go back to work, that's fucking I mean, I feel for you. Like fucking if you didn't want to take it and you did take it, if you follow me, I mean that's terrible shit. And I mean, I do want to start talking about these things more candidly. I wanted to talk about that shit more in the past, but another issue which I love to talk about is censorship. I fucking hate censorship. Even if you're saying like shit, racist shit about fucking Puerto Ricans, I fucking hate censorship. If you say racist shit about fucking Puerto Ricans of my town, Comerío, Puerto Rico, fucking you have every right to. Like, I don't think anybody should get kiboshed off any fucking platform. Period. Like, that's my standard. Like, you know, like fucking but one of the reasons that I wasn't talking candidly about these issues as they were happening was because you don't know what the fuck could get you kiboshed off these fucking platforms now. And I definitely didn't want to talk about fucking taking the T or the fucking the flu because of that, because you got to walk on eggshells, and I don't want to walk on eggshells. I think the fact that censorship is such a prevalent issue right now, like fucking and people don't bitch about it more because they want to cheer on when somebody gets censored because they don't like, oh fuck him, like I'm glad they censored him. Nah, I mean like I remember Illy Willy got fucking his channel kiboshed at one point. I mean, and I fucking can't stand the dude, but I wouldn't cheer on his channel getting kiboshed over something he said, which I'm assuming that's what happened, because that's whack. I mean, fucking say what you will, like fucking but I think anybody could say anything. Period. That's the way you fucking find out, like, or like that's the way you fucking solve shit. Like, you kidding me? Like, taking all emotion out of it, like fucking you figure shit out by being able to talk about things with no remorse and all the candor fucking in the world. And that's how I always talk. Like fucking it's only it seems like it's like another new age phenomenon where people get like look for reasons to feel butthurt. Like fucking that's another thing. Like fucking I hate emotional conversations. Like a lot of times I may sound like I get fucking ramped up about shit, but I honestly don't talk like that all the time unless like not gonna say people. I'm gonna say more dudes. Unless dudes like try to run game on me in the flow of a conversation. I don't like talk like all charged up and shit. Like fucking unless like you're trying to run a game or you're trying to get cute. But I talk like charged up about like some of these situations at times, like fucking like when it comes to geopolitics or shit that's happening what like in terms of the pinch or in terms of motherfuckers like trying to force you to take the T and whatnot. Like if I get fired up about stuff like that, or like it's because it's coming from the heart in a sense, or and from my perspective, like fucking oh, I never gave an update too. Like fucking I like if you guys don't know and or if you watch with any regularity in the past, I did have a fucking accident. I don't want to discuss the accident that much, but I did say in the past that a lot of times like talking and shit like that, like I do notice that I talk differently from back in the day till now. A lot of times like I'll get lost in my train of thought, and that's another reason I don't come on to YouTube as much, because it doesn't happen all the time. But there are times like when I'm talking to my shorty, like, and in the process of like that conversation, I'll forget like what the fuck I was talking about. And there's probably times within this video like where I lose my train of thought. So like a lot of times I feel a lot of like trepidation. I'm not gonna say anxiety, but like I feel like a lot of trepidation like to come on YouTube, because I like to show my grill, like fucking when I talk on YouTube. But like I always have like a little bit of demon in the back of my mind, like playing out a scenario in which I like lose my train of thought and like I look dumb where I don't know what I'm saying for like 15 seconds. And a lot of times I lose my train of thought for like 2 seconds, but it's like an eternity for me. Because it's not like normal. Like, not that I'm some fucking smart dude or nothing like that, but you know, it's my accident happened a year ago, like fucking so for me it's pretty recent, but like I still feel the effects of that. Not that I want no fucking pity party. So send me some super chats. Like, no, like fucking no, it's just what it is. Like that's why I don't like to come on here. And again, like a lot of the talk that I've done in the past, like it'll usually revert to boxing shit. Like if somebody comments on that shit, I'm not gonna be rude and fucking, oh, I'm talking about fucking silver right now, so I can't talk about boxing like in the comments. Like, no, I fucking, I'm glad that 7 motherfuckers are on here right now. Like fucking, if somebody took the conversation in a different direction, especially at this stage, I'm fucking begging for subs. But I'm not begging for subs, but I appreciate every one that I get. But what was I gonna say? No, if somebody deviates on me and whatnot, like, you know, I just, it's like in my mind, it's like more of a like what if I do lose my train of thought in that process? You know what I'm saying? That's just me fucking thinking out loud, bro. But that's one of the reasons I'm not motivated to come on to YouTube. Not like much to talk about in the boxing sense. Personally, like fucking I've been doing mad shit this summer, like fucking like I didn't take as many vacations as I wanted, and I just got fucked out of another vacation that I was supposed to go on next week, and I just found out right before this fucking stream started, so I was fucking tight about that. But I actually been trying to save bread and like fix shit around my house because I've been buying cans of food and shit like that, or stuff that I need that I'm trying to protect myself from paying a lot more for, you know, 2 years from now or a year from now, which you should be doing too. If you got space in your house for fucking your whack ass clothes, you don't even wear that shit, bro. Get rid of that, sell that shit if it's worth any money, and fucking buy shit you actually need. You know, but if you guys could, or if you guys have space, you guys should be fucking trying to stock up on some like emergency type items in the event that, you know, the supply lines do get fucked up. Which, I mean, they're telling you outwardly, like on the news at times, like, you know, all the supply line issues. They don't say it all the time, but if they're mentioning it here and there, it could be a problem that fucking could get critically worse overnight. And what are you gonna do then? Like, oh yeah, like fuck, if that happens, I'm gonna be the first motherfucker in line at the supermarket. Like, no, there's fucking tons of people that are probably thinking your same crusty ass idea. Wouldn't you rather have the shit at the crib, like fucking spend $60 worth of food and fill like one shelf in a closet or some shit? And in a year's time, that fucking $60 worth of food is probably gonna cost you fucking double that. And this is coming from somebody who's grocery shops every bit of grocery in this house. I grocery shop out of boredom sometimes. But I am telling you outright, and like motherfuckers in where I live now, like the supermarket where I go to now, come from like Newark, like, which is like the hood. But like where I live is definitely not the hood. But what do you call it? And like some of them cats take taxi from because that you can see the taxis dropping them off and picking them up. Actually, the last time I went, I saw some lady that had the taxi. I don't know where she came from. I'm not gonna say she's from Newark, but I know she went to the supermarket with taxi. But she loaded the back of the car with like one small bag, one pack of water, and 124 pack of beer. You know, that's the, and this was quote unquote minority like me. So fucking but it just shows how our priorities are fucked up like that. Like I, you know, to spend fucking bread on, I don't know what a fucking taxi costs, but you know, you're looking at $15 maybe, at least. A 24 pack of beer, you know, I'm guessing like 25 dents. Like make the fucking trip worth it, bro. Like whatever you spent on that fucking pack of beer, you should have spent that shit on fucking Chef Bar these or something. You would have had 25 cans, like fucking and you've been Gucci. But fucking our people's priorities are fucked up. That's been a problem since before these unprecedented times, but we are currently in unprecedented times. And my people, whether you're fucking my people's or not, and every other motherfucker out there who's listening to the stream, like, you're doing no much better or worse than I am. Like, fucking and you and I both could be bums tomorrow. Fucking yeah, but I gotta like that. Because if I have to become a bum tomorrow, like fuck, I'm gonna go out there robbing. No, you won't, bro. Shut up. Like, fucking But and you're talking to somebody who has like fucking taking people's shit like when I needed it. Like, fucking but at the end of the day, I mean, like, you do want to prepare yourself. Like, and I think of it in more from a my hood or a hood perspective, in the sense that if my hood or any hood USA went through some calamity in which the supermarkets, which we only have one, didn't have food, you're gonna have a lot of hungry motherfuckers out here. And I'm not gonna be one of them. I hope. But having said that, let me break out, bro. Like, fucking I got my dog fucking sleeping down here now in the kitchen, which is my kitchen is probably looking fucked up right now. But since I have 7 of y'all with me, I had my dog in my other video too, fucking the Mr. Bowser. But and my cribs is a wreck now. But let me show my feature. My kitchen's a mess, bro, because he fucks up. Bowser, say what's up. Bow. I'm sorry for keeping you awake, buddy. Look at that fucking handsome little devil. Say hi, Bow. All right, guys. Well, with that, I'm out. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Much love and peace.